階段から落ちた時キスしたわ。
え？はあ？なんでお前なんかと。
In this episode, we'll be going over the top 10 romance animes where the title explains the show. Whether it's a long title that makes you laugh or a couple of simple words that reveal the show's intentions, every title on this list is a must-watch. Stick around till the end because some of the last titles are unbelievably insane! Number 10.
和也くん、待った？髪やるの時間かかっちゃって。和也くん、嫌かもって不安だったんだけど。
Starting off the list, we have Rent-a-Girlfriend, an anime that takes its title literally. The story is obviously about renting a girlfriend, and our protagonist Kazuya Kinoshita is just that guy. Once his girlfriend breaks up with him and he loses his pride, he decides to download a dating app. Through this app, he is able to rent Chizuru Mizuhara.
レンタル彼女のことはおばあちゃんには話してないの。
それってなんかいろいろまずくね。
だからやばいって言ってるでしょ。とにかくここから出なきゃ。
A girl who pretends to be madly in love with Kazuya. Once Kazuya finds out it was all an act, he gets revenge, and you can guess how things end up after that. With a unique story that takes the title to the next level, this is definitely a show you ought to watch.
今はまだどうしてもこの仕事を辞めるわけにはいかないの。ま、今日みたいなのは勘弁だけど。
Number 9.
ないって。
照れるな。本当にケイちゃんはいつまで経っても甘えん坊さんなんだから。
This time, I will tell you the title and see if you can guess what the show is about. If you guessed a story about a young man moving in with his sisters and them falling in love with him, then you are right. Kiss Sis follows Keita, a middle school student who moves in with his sisters Ako and Riko after their parents remarry. Like Love at First Sight, Keita's stepsisters made advances on him from the start.
シチュー食べてよ。
まあそれはいいんだけど。父さんと母さんは？
二人なら町内会の旅行だよ。
With the girls not even hiding their lust, it's not a battle of winning them over, but resisting the temptation. If there is any show on this list where the title explains it all, it is this one. Although the story may seem a tad odd, it's definitely a series with a title that explains it all.
ケイちゃん。
みんなの前でこれはやめてくれよ。アコ姉とリコ姉は俺の姉ちゃんなんだから。
Number 8.
落ち着いて。
人の部屋に忍び込んでこの肌を怪我しておいて、よくもそんな。
怪我した。
Entering the list is Chivalry of a Failed Knight, another story filled with love. Our protagonist, Iki, is the lowest of the lows at his school, being called the worst one, or a failed knight. One day, while heading home from his training, Iki stumbles upon the stunning princess, Stella, changing in his room. Without time to explain, Iki does the reasonable move and strips down himself. This strange event turns into the two eventually growing closer and falling in love.
僕の最強を持って君の最強を打ち破る。
With dating a princess comes problems, however, causing multiple people to try and stop Iki's advancements out of jealousy. Despite being called the failed knight, Iki stays chivalrous and proves his worth to the world. With this title, you start to understand it as you watch the show, making it seem all the more meaningful.
生涯服従でしょ？
あれはその言葉のあやで。
言うこと聞いてくれるんだよね。なんでも。
なんでもはダメよ。ダメだからね。
Number 7.
こんな時間に何してんだ。家に帰れ。家に。
もう電車ないし。
朝までそこにいんのか。
Up next is a show with a title so long it explains the entirety of the anime. You see, one day, salaryman Yoshida decides to confess his feelings to his boss and crush, Airi. She rejects him and he decides to head to the bar, hoping to drown his sorrows in a bottle. This works partially, but when a runaway high school girl asks him to let her spend the night with him, he can't refuse. He then wakes up the next morning, forgetting what happened, and seeing Sayu, the high school girl, in his apartment.
いいか、俺が優しいんじゃない。 そいつらがクソだったんだ。勘違いするな。基準を低く持つな。正しい尺度で物を見ろ。
わかった。
After listening to her story, Yoshida finds himself unable to kick her out, so he decides to let her stay. After a strange turn of events, the two's meaningless encounter evolves into something special over time. Basically, the title explains this story, thus ensuring it a spot on this list.
確かにこいつは容姿も俺の好みじゃないが、まあかなりいい方だし、家事もできるし愛想もいい。
Number 6.
この時をもって僕は貴様との婚約を破棄する。
はい、わかりました。
Next up, we have another anime with a title so long that you don't even need to read the synopsis to understand what's going on. Our protagonist, Riche, is a very special person. She has the ability to reset her life, essentially traveling back in time. After her 6th run in life, she decides to take it easy for her next one, but she is stunned when her arch-enemy proposes to her.
そして願わくはどうか俺の妻になってほしい。
In pursuit of a relaxed life, she decides to consider the offer rather than immediately rejecting it. Because of this, her life changes drastically, making the carefree life she sought after seem impossible. If you're looking for a funny romance filled with lots of misfortune, then this is the one for you.
俺を知っているのか？この国に来たのは初めてだが。
私、リーシェ・イルムガルド・ベレツナーと申します。
If you've liked this video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this video. Let's get back to the list. Number 5.
よーく聞きなさい。この世に生まれたのがより早かった方が姉ないしは兄になる。これが前提その1。そして私はあなたより生まれたのが早い。
Now we have all seen the series where the main character moves in with a super hot sister and falls in love, but have you seen the opposite? See, our protagonist Mizuto got lucky and was able to win the heart of a fellow classmate, Yume. With everything in common, the two seemed like the perfect couple until their differences began to show. They broke up and went their separate ways, but found themselves reunited after their parents remarried, making them now step-siblings. As if it was fate, the two start talking again and compete to see who is the better sibling.
ご心配には及ばないのよ、水戸くん。私には必殺の武器があるから。
Eventually leading them to wondering why they broke up in the first place. With lots of misunderstandings and funny twists, this series secures its stop with its laughable title.
昔はそんな意地悪言わなかったのに。
はいはい、僕が悪かったです。ごめんなさい。
Number 4.
さて、これで人との会話シミュレーションは完了ね。
はあ？
私のような女の子と話ができれば、大抵の人間とも会話ができると思うわ。
Barely missing the top 3 is My Teen Romantic Comedy, a series about, of course, a comedic romance. Our protagonist, Hachiman, has come to believe that living a joyful teen life is nothing but a myth. This rots his mind so badly to the point where he writes an essay mocking social relationships. His teacher reads this essay and orders him to join a club despite how he thinks about social interaction.
2年 F 組引きヶ谷8番です。おい入部ってなんだよ。
君にはなめ腐ったレポートの罰としてここでの部活動を命じる。
After joining a club where his main goal is to solve others' problems, he begins to wonder if his view on life is correct. Upon a fateful encounter, he meets Yukino, only other member of this club, and the two begin to bond. This ultimately leads to a pretty hilarious romance story between two people who seem to share nothing in common.
そうですか。
それに平塚先生から聞いたんだけど、この部って生徒のお願い叶えてくれるんだよね。
いいえ、奉仕部はあくまで手助けするだけ。
Number 3.
おはようひまわり。
何？
今日もジョールだ。
この子は日向葵。
Living his best life is our protagonist, Amatsu, who has 2 dates secured for his weekend, one with the student council president and one with his childhood friend. What could be better? To his surprise, however, both of these dates ended with them confessing their love for his best friend Taiyu, the baseball ace. Amatsuyu decides to put a plan into action after learning this, attempting to get his friend to fall in love with one of them while he takes the other.
その瞬間、私は恋をしてしまったんだ。ただ、あいにく私と彼には接点がほとんどなく。
Although he thinks it's a foolproof plan, he is discovered by the four-eyed Sumeriko. This erupts into a big love facade between the five of them, each trying to come out with the one they love. The title for this one explains itself over time, so make sure you give this series a try.
ジョロ君が好きなの。
なんでここだけテーマイベント？よりにもよってこいつだけ。
Number 2.
山田龍！君はどうしていつもそ
先生、学級日誌を持ってきました。
白石さんか。ご苦労様。
For the runner-up on this list of romance anime with self-explanatory titles, we have Yamada and the Seven Witches. When the high school student Yamada first enrolled, he chose to attend a school far away to hopefully put his past in the past. He eventually gets bored of his calm life without delinquency, so he reverts to his old ways, getting into fights and causing misfortunes. One day, he trips and accidentally kisses his beautiful classmate Urara, revealing a hidden power. After learning about the secret powers of witches, he becomes invested and decides to embark on a quest.
ふざけないでくれる？余計な手出しされるのは迷惑なの。それこそ事態が悪化するだけ。
Yamada decides to find all 7 witches who are enrolled in the school and learn their magic from them, hopefully the same way he learned from Urara.
というわけで白石さん、俺とキスしてくれないか？
それは絶対に嫌。
じゃあ山田でいいや。
でいいやってなんだよ。つか男同士でキスするんだぞ。いいわけねえだろ。
Number 1.
君も白身もごっちゃごちゃのスクランブルエッグだ。
As a top pick on this list, we have the Anthem of the Heart, a romance story that is sure to make your heart sing an anthem. The story follows June, previously a chatterbox. June's mouth was sealed by a fairy egg after causing her parents' divorce.
痛いのは胸だ。青春の痛みだ。封印を破った君への。
喋ってないほとんど
Now, in high school, June is still unable to talk, however, she is chosen to be in a musical alongside other students. She decides to initially reject the offer, but once she hears fellow classmate Sakagami sing, she sticks to it. After thinking that maybe the fairy egg's curse doesn't affect her if she sings, she decides to get closer to Sakagami. Over time, she begins to change, raising the question of whether she will be able to convey the anthem in her heart or not.
ちゃんと2頭にも相談しなきゃな。フレコーでミュージカルやりたいって。だから話、ちゃんと最後まで書いてな。
That wraps up the list. Let me know if I missed any anime you think should have been in this list down in the comments section so others don't miss out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more content like this video. Thanks for watching!